Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in the Ultimate Base 3.0. In the previous episode we took care of the aluminium volcano. I took myself the liberty of finishing analyzing it. It turns out it will have an average output of 301 grams per second at a temperature of 1700 degrees. The eruption period is much less than our gold volcano. Even though aluminium probably has a much higher heat capacity, I believe we should be alright with just one aqua tuner, but we will have to test that. Maybe we're gonna need two. I saw a comment that was indicating this fact, but considering the gold volcano doesn't even heat up the saltwater temperature by 5 degrees, I'm not too worried just yet. However, we still have to wait for about 40 cycles before it becomes active. So in that time, I figured we could also do the other gold volcano and already prepare the aluminium volcano, but also we have to do a few things on Crudial, a bunch of smaller items on my list that I have to cross off. One thing I already did is rearrange the solar panels. This way I still have a way to actually go up here and do some maintenance, but more importantly, we can have our payload opener system right in this place. So I figured we're gonna take our beacon, and instead of having it here or even here at the bottom, we can have it at the same level as the solar panels themselves. We could even do this in between two solar panels if we wanted, but I wanted to have my payload opener here on the top as well. So where is it? Under rocketry probably. Yeah, there we go. Payload opener. You can go right here. So we also utilize the 3 tiles here with the payload opener to potentially catch the payloads. Now all we have to do is add an auto sweeper here with potentially some cooling. Let me think. If we add a tile here, that should actually be possible. Let's say an airflow tile. We add that right here, and behind it we're gonna need some drywall. Let's do that out of obsidian, why not? So potentially we should be capable of still grabbing all the payloads and putting them into the payload opener while actively cooling the auto sweeper, so we never have to replace it. And we could simply use our loop right here that we are already utilizing, though I will have to see if this is gonna do the trick. We might actually have to move this slightly, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not 100% positive we will be able to reach this tile. We don't have to reach the bottom tile because it will land on the airflow tile instead, and that obviously can be reached. Let's maybe build the airflow tile first so we get a more accurate picture of where this auto sweeper will reach. There it is. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's what I figured. There's just this one tile that we cannot reach. So what if we like build this up one more tile, then I cannot reach the bottom. Oh no. So I wonder, what if we did it a little bit differently? Let me get another auto sweeper. We could technically have 2 auto sweepers, not wasting more power, you know, because we only use power when we actually pick up the payloads. So we could have one of those here and another one over there. We get rid of this airflow tile but build 2 more like so. Let's try that. Now of course that's then in the way of the tile in the center, so possibly over here might be better. This is gonna block a little bit of sunlight here for the solar panel because we will have a drop of liquid here on the top. At least I believe that's how it works. Maybe it also shines through. Good, like this I will be able to reach everything, and then if we're lucky, I do believe you can actually cool the auto sweepers just with the side tiles, but I'm not 100% sure. So now we're gonna need some drywall on top of this. Maybe in order to build that we first have to access it, right? Give me ladders. And yeah, I guess now we can already think about how we want to expand this loop. Let me see, we also need space for the pipes that we're gonna use here for the payload opener. In this case, my suggestion is to go straight up. Right here, we're gonna use a iron radiant pipe as well as over there. We connect this again with insulated piping, go down, over, and then join with the loop we originally had. So that should be fine. I probably also need a little bit of power now, which I think we do have plenty of right now on this planetoid. Now there's a little something I will have to fix for the main planetoid in today's episode. For now, I think I'm just gonna solve it like so, but we do have way too much carbon dioxide in here. Like if I check this, the whole wind tunnel is full of carbon dioxide. Also, look, I mean, how much would you enjoy sunbathing for the price of not being able to breathe? But thanks to my duplicant, we can get rid of some of this. Actually, maybe we do it on the other side as well, just to get rid of it a little bit quicker. And then we'll add a carbon skimmer or oxyfern seeds. I'm not 100% sure yet. For now, all I want to see is for this carbon dioxide to be gone for a little bit. You know what? This doesn't really go as quickly as I anticipated. I think it's gonna be much easier to use a carbon skimmer. And I'm gonna do a little quick and dirty solution here with a water sieve and the carbon skimmer. All we have to do is take the clean water from the water sieve, exit the bad water, and there we have our mini cycle. I believe this can just be a tiny amount of liquid and we can utilize it forever. So all we have to do is fill up the loop initially and we should be fine here with a bridge. Also, we have this power cable that is barely utilized and that's going to be hooked up to that system. I also want to add a couple of airflow tiles here just to guarantee the flow. Though I'm only going to do 2 airflow tiles and I'm also going to exchange these instead. I personally think those don't even need to be metal tiles. No! Okay, I first have to destroy them so the materials drop down. Hey, voila, the carbon skimmer is already going for it. I think we can leave it be at this point because it is just gonna go indefinitely and we can get rid of that bridge. And now our carbon dioxide problem is no problem anymore, at least temporarily. It's not the most elegant solution, but it's also not a bad solution since it's a system that can be contained like this. And it's also gonna produce a little bit of dirt if I'm not mistaken. In the meantime, on Crudil, we're almost done. Let's get this connected. This disconnected and disconnected. That was a weird sentence. But there we go. Now we have active cooling for our auto sweepers. All we have to do is make sure a tiny amount of liquid resides on these tiles. So we're gonna add a bottle emptier here, another one there. What kinds of liquids do we have? Should we just take the oil? I mean, it doesn't really matter which liquid we take. Ah, let's do ethanol. Though water does have a higher vaporization point than ethanol. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with plain old water or oil. Maybe oil would be the safest. Okay, I decided to go for oil. We don't need to be very efficient in terms of cooling. It's not a good coolant, but you know, this is the oil planetoid. And I just feel a little bit safer having oil in space than water for psychological reasons. I don't think I actually have a pitcher pump for the oil. Maybe we should introduce that. Sure, why not? We're gonna have one here. This is easily accessible. I don't think we're actually gonna utilize that often. Whoop, just in the nick of time, looks like Liam is gonna drop a little bit of oil here. The rest is probably just gonna vanish into space, so I wanna make sure he doesn't drop too much. Just a little bit until it dribbles down. Should be enough. And now we have oil that you can see is being actively cooled down already at 33 degrees. Before Liam goes away, I want to quickly send him to the second bottle emptier so I don't have to babysit this in the future. Do that. Okay, that's enough. And we can deconstruct these guys again. Maybe another thing we should take care of is the conveyor rails. Actually, I did not even think about the storage solutions just yet. I mean, what do we actually want to send over to these planetoids? As a matter of fact, we should only track what we actually want to track. So all of this can go. We're just going to track the resources that are important to us and that we have to resupply from the main planetoid potentially. This would also include water. Now this could be deceptive because we are storing water in this tank that we're just using for cooling purposes. But still, we just have to remember we want at least 10 tons of water on this planetoid. We already tracked the coal, that is our emergency supply if the solar panels don't hold up. We might want to track the berry sludge. And I think that will be everything for the second and even third planetoid. We basically track the same thing. And then maybe in the future, depending on the projects, we have to track additional things. Oh, well, you look at that. We actually have some overheat damage. What did I do wrong? I must have set a setting wrong here. Oh, wait, I totally forgot to hook up the water loop. I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Oh my gosh. And you know, one improvement you suggested was to actually get rid of the liquid shutoff because we could do the same thing with the liquid vent, free of charge. But I still think the shutoff is the safer option and it's not that dramatic what it costs in terms of power and steel. However, something is wrong. We have very little steam in here and theoretically it should now drop into the room. No, actually it drops in. It's just because we don't have enough water in there. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. Can I? Yeah, I even prepared this and everything, but messed it up. So now we actually get this down in temperature again. It's at a cozy temperature now. And I'm gonna keep filling up the liquid reservoir here just a little bit. How much did I fill up the other one? Actually almost completely full, at least 4,000 kilograms. And we still have to make our way back in here in order to get rid of the damages we've done. Also, I figured this hydro sensor is set way too high. Let's set it to 10 kilograms. Do the same thing over here. And now once we have a little bit of liquid on here, it is also gonna shut down the system. This is also going to allow me to more or less safely enter this room again. Where did I just go? There we go. We should now be able to enter the room without issues and fix everything. Nice. You know, sadly, I don't have enough steel on the planetoid, so I have to send some over. Let's do about 600 kilograms or so. Actually, let's do way more because we need it for the other two volcanoes as well. In the meantime, on Crew Deal, we are completely done with this. I want to suppress that notification because that will be the case a lot of times. But I still don't know where I want to store everything. Well, I guess since we only need specific materials, mainly for the base and survival, we should just bring the materials to where we need them. For instance, we can go down here, over, down there, in order to deliver the berry sludge. Actually, why not deliver it here instead? But it still requires us to set up a sensor. So we could have a sensor here for materials we want, and then we keep going like so, and cut this. And then at some point I need a bunch of coal generators as a backup, and this is where my coal should go. Since I don't know exactly where that is gonna be, I'm just gonna drop everything apart from the berry sludge outside the base right there. Here we need a conveyor rail element sensor. Let's build that out of I don't care. And we also need a conveyor chute right there. When we detect berry sludge, we want it to drop right there. So it's already inside the base. I also just noticed we don't really need that heavy watt joint plate. All we need to do is connect these wires here, since I intend to set up a ladder there anyway. We can already set up the sensor. What did we want to detect? Edible? The berry sludge. Thank you very much. Okay, nice. Looks like everything is fixed. We're gonna pick that up and then close off the room. Easy as that. Thank you, Hassan. Okay. Now this error shouldn't happen again. It was my bad. And I just totally did something else I shouldn't have done, and that is completely fill up the loop. Let's maybe connect these two pipes now, get things rolling again, and we hopefully get a loop that doesn't get stuck frequently. Unfortunately, it isn't quite as smooth, but I think we can do it without even entering the room. If I, for instance, make a pipe out here and just leak a little bit of liquid, we should be fine. But yeah, I will be glad once the micromanaging of this guy is over. Okay, we don't need to get rid of a lot, just so that it actually becomes smooth and doesn't stop every 5 seconds. There, 4,500 kilograms, that should be enough. Alrighty, it is quite a bunch of cycles later, and I took myself the liberty of cleaning up a few things. First and foremost, I took apart the entirety of the old base on Crew Deal, but I also made some progress here on Gloani. For instance, I implemented the same system with the payload opener. I just have to do one more thing, and that is add the beacon, and then we are golden. You can see I already opened up a little hole here, and that is because I need to eventually ship all the materials back to the main planetoid, and we're gonna use this crushed satellite as well as a interplanetary launcher. Now I figured what we could try is set up a bunch of tiles here, and then let me see, I need to see the size of the interplanetary launcher. Rocketry. So we would be placing that right there. We're gonna continue with our tiles, set this up. Wonderful. Next step, let's open this up briefly. Now I need to be a little bit careful with this. I need to guide Hassan to do this correctly. By the way, another 18 cycles or so to go for this aluminium volcano. And I'm already preparing the next one. We should probably increase some priorities. Yeah, I want to do this next here, so Hassan can focus on that. The radiation here is pretty bad. We'll see. You know, once everything is in place, we do not even need to worry. There. So now the idea is we don't actually have a floor here, even though this is gonna look a little bit weird. But what we can do is take our rat bolt generators and place them beneath the contraption. And I'm just gonna start with one for the time being. We then need some automation with a NOT gate and a bunch of cables. So now when this is full, it will send a green signal and therefore with the NOT gate shutting off the generators. We're also gonna bring up some power and let's just lead this through here. I guess eventually I'm gonna have a joint plate. We need to access the room. I can just as well have it open. We can see right here, Hassan has absorbed about 90 rats or so it is going up. Let's see how much he can get rid of when he's asleep. Okay, it goes a little bit high at this point. Let's lower the priority right here, give him a little break from this project. Go. He's currently at 270 rats. Let's see how much he gets rid of using the laboratory. Come on, use that, 270, and we're down to 170, so 100 rats per use. Okay, I think I got everything under control. Hassan got a little bit sick, admittedly, but he's now at 260 rats and I almost protected him completely. I just want to build this thing right here in order to actually provide a way to eventually cool this down. I think for now I want to give him a break on this project again until the next day, so we can get rid of some more rats during the resting phase. In order to give him a cycle or two to do that, I already prepared the next stage of this aluminium volcano. It's the same exact thing we already had. I did not build the pipes yet. That might be something we want to prepare. And then I also haven't done the power yet, which is going to be coming from here. I also added reed fiber to the list of things I want to track because obviously we need to repair our atmo suits. And without that, it's not going to be possible. Hassan is going nuts. I feel like the radiation sickness suits him very well. Hassan just got healed as the game saved. This is the sign for a good cycle to come. And never mind, he's already sick again with over 100 rats. What can I say? Nothing I can do for him. Wonderful. Let's empty out some liquid here. Salt water is gonna do fine. Enable auto bottle and just do this quick. We're gonna let one entire bottle dribble down, then I'm gonna let Hassan get rid of his rats, and then in the next cycle we can build the cooling loop. Where do we want to get this from? I'm guessing we can use this one. No, where is it? This one here. All we would have to do is expand the loop right here, for instance. I want to be careful so I can still get some liquid out of there potentially. We're gonna be coming down at this point, then do the cooling. The cooling we can do with a bunch of gold pipes, it doesn't really matter. And then we make our way back up like so, over and join back with the loop. Let's get some ladders in the joint so we can build this. While Hassan is building the cooling loop here, there's actually another thing I wanted to do here on Glowani, and that is expand the cooling loop here as well in order to cool down the oil. Now, I know this is a big feat, but eventually we'll have this cooled down and then it's not going to be that dramatic. Of course, I want the functionality of this room to last forever, so we need to somewhat cool it down. I figured since we don't have any steam in here, this is the opportune moment to do so. Let's do something like that, fill this up with water and then we can enter. What I would like to see is a second aqua tuner, and because we have so much space, I'm not just gonna daisy chain them, I'm actually gonna make another one of these systems. I know it is redundant, but at least we'll have something to fill this up. So instead of going directly up, we will want to move over. Let's do it like so, and then we have to do the same thing. Go ahead and bypass it like so. Yeah, that makes sense. Now I just have to reroute this guy here as well, so it goes above and I will be able to use this pipe to go back. I just noticed we don't have enough steel on the planetoid. Crew deal. I have to send that over. Let me quickly fix that. I totally forgot that we are running these aqua tuners on a small cable. We have to change that, and I think I'm gonna do that right now. Actually, we might have to wait until we can close this off, or we just do it on the top. Though, let's take our heavy watt wire and already bring it over here. That means we can get rid of these cables. Yeah, we'll be able to use this in some other fashion. And there is the second aqua tuner. Wonderful. Good, we're now closed off again, everything hooked up. I decided to go with the upper tile nonetheless because it was just way less complicated. Now, what I would like to see is an expansion of this loop. So we will be using a bridge here. Let's do it. So instead of going directly into the aqua tuner, we're first gonna go down and eventually we're gonna come back up again. But let's do this. We have 550,000 kilograms of igneous rock. Let's see what we end up with after this. So I want to go down here through the tiles if possible. Go down here and then move all the way over, but this time with granite pipes. So all of the heat of the oil we want to catch. We go back and forth, reroute the oil pipe a little bit, and eventually we end up here. Go, oh, come on, all the way up. You know, I don't like that curve one bit. Let's just do it straight down and straight up, just like that. And then we can join back in the loop. All we have to do is set up a ladder to actually build all of this. And additionally, I want to expand the insulated walls we have here in order to protect the pipes. And we're gonna do the same thing here. Here we're gonna have another insulation layer until we reach the oil. I just noticed I built these ladders out of obsidian. This is a little booger about this game. You always have to be aware what you build things out of, so you don't waste too much time. But there we go. That is gonna be another project Liam can take care of. Let's go back to Glowani. We're almost done here with the project, but I don't think Hassan is doing particularly well right now. He is indeed very sick. Yeah, I'm gonna leave him be for another cycle or so. And he's just gonna be picking up materials in the meantime. And we are back with both cooling loops completed. It's time to activate them. In order to do that, I wanna cut this pipe and connect these guys. And of course, I totally forgot a bridge here. This needs to be fixed ASAP. But after that, the loop can be expanded. And we do have enough liquid in the tank, so I don't have to do anything about it. There it goes. Great. That means we can also activate the payload opener in the next episode and finally transport things back to the home planetoid. At the same time on crew deal, the loop already started. It kicked in. It is now going all the way around here. That should be good. There is no gap and it's gonna go back up, joining the loop here, doing the aquatuner thing. Now for this loop, we obviously have to add a little bit more water. Do I still have water on this planetoid somewhere? There would be enough water in here. I just have to get it back up. So instead of going into the liquid shutoff, we could also make it go up by connecting this, and then it goes over. Oh, maybe that's going to be easier than I anticipated. But instead of going into this liquid reservoir, I would like it to move into the next one there. Now we can see because we're using granite pipes, the water isn't reacting that dramatically and we get out at 39 degrees, coming in at 24. There we go. Now the fresh water is incoming. We're filling up both reservoirs. And I just have to fill enough to fill up the loop completely, as well as a little bit of the liquid reservoir. We can now also clean up as if we were never there. Oh, check this out. We actually missed the first eruptions of the aluminium volcano. And okay. One cycle, it just erupted actually. And now we're cooling down the water again. I wonder, how long is this going to be active? 76 cycles, so we have to catch 76 eruptions. That might actually be interesting. I'm gonna wait for one more eruption, I kind of have to see this. Also, what's up with the railing? Why isn't this working? Oh, I think I did not have the refined aluminium in the list just yet. 0.7 cycles to go and we're already down to around 13-14 degrees. Oh no, we have too much water in here as well. How did I manage to do that again? Let's pump some out. There, now the steam turbine can actually do its thing. Ooh, that was actually getting a little bit close, over 200 degrees. Ah, well, you look at that. We're back to 10 degrees here, around 13 degrees on the other side. The volcano is going for it in 1 second. There we go. Now it's heating up the water again. It does look a little bit scary, but it's all right. It's all intentional how it works so far. I got enough water out of here. Let's cut that connection before I forget it. We are slowly bringing this down, even though the aquatuner is running all the time. This is good. We can fight against it. And now we are here at 20 degrees with another cycle left until the next eruption. So now it's all dependent on how far we can get this down from these 20 degrees again. In the meantime, on crew deal, we overfilled it. Of course, we had to do that. So let's extract a little something from the pipe so the loop can keep going. Yeah, wonderful. That seems about right. Cancel that, please. Thank you. And back to Glowani. Let's check how that goes. We are at 16 degrees. Good, good, good. Maybe we're just gonna check here with the temperature sensor. We're between 13 and 14 degrees. I'm gonna check with the sensor now so we have a reliable measurement. It is erupting while the sensor is at 15 degrees or 15.4 exactly. And it is now going up. There, the eruption is already over, so it raised the temperature around 5 to 7 degrees. Yeah, honestly, over so many cycles, 68 cycles, we might actually get into troubles. After all, we can only get this to 100 degrees, so the average is definitely going up with each eruption. That is something I anticipated, but not by this much. What we could do is move everything one over and then add a second aqua tuner in the chain. This would easily solve our problems. It would also extremely suck to do so. I guess we're gonna keep this observed, but from the looks of it, I will have to intervene already during this cycle. I mean the active cycle of the volcano. But alas, it is time to wrap it up for today's episode. I'm looking forward to finally sending over some materials for the main planetoid, especially all the gold we're getting here on this planetoid. We're gonna keep on building the contraptions for the volcanoes, and then it will also be time to slowly tap into the uranium biome. But with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.